Wiggy, Greg's point is they shouldn't have even been in overtime and wouldn't have been if Jason Tatum hadn't disappeared in the fourth quarter last night. That is that texter's perception of what occurred last night.
Or the perception could have been like the Celtics should have been able to hold the lead when Jason Tatum took a rest. I could easily say that. But guess what? If my aunt had gonads, she'd be my uncle. Yeah. So where were we when we got there? It'd be no different than you saying, well, if Pasta scores and that game that they beat Toronto, was that overtime? No, it was at the third period. But if a game ends in overtime and Pasta has the game winner, you go, well, if he scores in regulation, then we don't get to overtime. Yes, but guess what?
That was overtime.
Was that
Game
overtime?
7, yeah.
All right. So you could easily make that argument. He didn't. What did he do when you needed him in overtime? He stepped up. All right. So you could say that about, he didn't have a great fourth quarter. I agree with that. But there's a lot that plays into maybe why that is. But he still has if you don't have Jason Tatum, you ain't winning.
But isn't it hard, you think, for a lot of fans that have seen his track record when it comes to the playoffs, and that a fourth quarter like that worries some people that we might find ourselves in another Jason Tatum disappears scenario?
He had 36.
I know, Wiggy, but when it comes to, because you could say that about all the other games that he disappeared for a quarter or two. That has always been the complaint when it comes to Jason Tatum. And I love Jason Tatum. I don't want Jason Tatum going anywhere. I don't want to ship him out of Boston. He is the reason we are in the position we're in. Right. But they've never won a championship with him. And a lot of that goes to him disappearing during certain quarters.
A lot of that goes towards the Golden State series, which we all agree with.
And who disappeared?
He disappeared in that series.
That's all that worries people.
But that's all it is.
But that's all that people have, Wiggy, for championship opportunities.
Right. Well, guess what? The Minnesota Timberwolves are playing in the Western Conference Finals. Game 7, Ant-Man disappeared. But no, we're not going to remember that. Like, we won't remember.
But I hate how you pivot to other people. No. We're just talking about Tatum.
But we won't remember the fourth quarter when they win this series.
Right. If they win a title this year, nobody will remember any of this stuff.
I'm saying we won't even remember this when they win the series. We'll remember how good he was in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Excuse me, overtime. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I just think it's okay. Like, I'm not obsessed with trying to find things wrong with Jason Tatum's game.
You guys started the show. The caller's right. You started the show on how poorly. How bad of a game Tatum had.
No,
that's what you said.
I don't think I said he had a poor game. I think I think I said he didn't have a extraordinarily great game. And I think I said that he had several chances in regulation to put that game away and was unable to do it. That's it.
You and Courtney started the show by saying he didn't have a good game.
No, I said he disappeared.
Run the tape back, Sean.
But what's wrong with saying that?
No, there's nothing wrong with saying that his fourth.
You get so butthurt.
No. Because you don't hold the same type of standard for the rest of the superstars.
I do.
That's why I get butthurt. Because you're biased. That's why I get butthurt. Is if people could just be. I get butthurt because people are fake when they talk about superstars in this town. Just have the same, and Curtis knows I love this saying, have the same energy for all the other superstars.
Yeah.
But you don't. You said the Bruins were an overachiever.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know where you stand with
so I
the
think
Bruins.
I'm giving a lot more credit to Jason Tatum and the Celtics than I did the Bruins.
But I do think Wiggy's right, whether it's Greg or others, like Pasta or Bergeron, like guys that are great players that don't win titles don't get the same nitpicking that Tatum does.
That's it. And that's why I get butthurt, is because I'm just defending how we view everybody else. Or
even Tuukka's a good example, right? Tuukka was a Vezina-winning goalie who never won a title and allowed some bad goals.
Hold on. Has David Pastrnak been to 5 of the last 6 conference finals?
No.
Has Jason Tatum? Yes.
6 of 8.
Tatum's only been to 5, I think.
Yeah, 5 and
Jaylen Brown's been to 6. So,
right. Sorry.
Right. Like, I'm sorry. You've had 5 opportunities at it. Let's give it a go.
Who's had a better team around them? Pasta or
You can
Tatum?
argue that all day long.
No. Who's had a better core around them in their respective sports? Pasta or Tatum?
I would say, arguably, Jason Tatum. Oh, man. Come on, man.
So, seriously?
You had the two J's.
Courtney, who's had a better core around them?
In the last
5
6
years? Yeah, let's do their career.
I think the Bruins have been more talented than the Celtics to this year.
No. I'm just talking in the last 5 or 6 years.
But in Celtics, and why are we punishing Tatum for maybe getting a team to a conference final a little too early? Like, the fact that they didn't win it all.
You can argue that.
Like LeBron James made the finals when he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers. They got swept by Tim Duncan and the Spurs. Yep. That is still looked at as not as a sweep, but as a massive accomplishment.
Yes, you were just asking me why I have not been more you and Wiggy, why I'm not more critical of David Pasternak. It's because he hasn't been sitting there on the precipice of it for 5 of the last 6 years.
Isn't that more on him, though? And his inability to carry his team to that level?
I think, first of all, it's much easier for a great player to take over a basketball game than it is a great player to take over a hockey game. So I think the two are different, but I'll go with your argument.
I'll give you this, though. The goalie, it's not different. And Tuukka was defended by you and everybody, despite the fact that he never won.
You know what you sound like? You sound like the Joe Montana guys. Oh, he went to 4 Super Bowls.
Scheim hates
I've
those
changed
guys.
my opinion.
Those guys are the worst.
I believe, like Scheim, that Joe Montana was not even top 50.
Well done,
NFL
Greg.
all
Thank
time.
you.
Changed my opinion on that.
Welcome to.
Also, I love Joe Burrow's new mullet.
Awesome mullet.
And if you think Tuukka won a cup because he was the backup, then you think Jimmy G is a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
This is Jason from East Bridgewater.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Wiggy, you need to take your mouth off of Tatum's Twinkie dude.
Hey, I'm just defending a guy that I like that gets doesn't get the same type of gets criticized when others don't.
Did you dump out of that? You didn't have to dump out of that, did you?
No, I think I do.
No, I don't
think you
so.
did on that one, but
I think it's okay.
And hey, let me say this:
ask the Drake's guy. It's a food item.
Pause. Do I deride Tatum? Yeah, because he's a talented player. But what I try to do is show the fraudulence on how Tatum's viewed and how the rest of NBA superstars are viewed, or the rest of the superstars in Boston.